and that he's not getting paid basically the same amount. That's basically what the reports are saying right now. What? It's just one of those things where I'm just flabbergasted. Where it's like, are you serious, Cena? You're complaining that you're not getting more money? What, do you have like a gambling problem and you need something to help you with your fix or something like that? Last time I checked, you had a big time mansion. You had a boatload of cars. You had one of the most beautiful girlfriends that any guy could ever ask for, and you're finding a reason to complain? Are you serious? Everybody wanted to see Bill Goldberg for almost 20, and we're finally getting the chance to see him, and you have to be the one that rains on that. Well, he probably doesn't deserve it. It's like, just shut up. Goldberg actually looked really good in the ring. He had probably one of the shortest matches in Survivor Series, probably if not the shortest match in Survivor Series history. Main event, I should say, because I forgot about Rock versus Big Boss Man. 3 seconds, I think it was, something like that. But the thing is that John Cena, you're still getting paid a lot, and you're still basically treated as the poster boy. It's like, what more do you freaking want? It's like every single time I'm getting so close to maybe liking him, he pulls something like this, and it's like, well, you just gave me another reason not to like you. I mean, not to mention the fact that he's basically saying that he doesn't want to have kids, and yet he's one of the poster boys for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. That's not, hypocritical at all. It's like, hey, I enjoy talking to kids and, making their dreams come true, but I don't want any of them my own. It's like, are you serious? That, if anything, all these kids who you're talking to should give you more reason to want to have kids. Because all these kids are struggling, but now they're making their dreams come true and seeing their guy or their favorite superstar, their favorite actor, their favorite, you name it. And you're basically saying, no, I don't want kids. Are you seriously going to tell a kid like something like that? Because, all honesty, I would be one of those people that wouldn't lie. I would say, say, well, yeah, I would want kids, just not right now. Maybe in the future when I, settle down. Something like that. At least give them the hope that you probably want to have kids. Don't just flat out say like, no, I don't want kids. Just merely because. So, well, I will say this. If it's because he had like a vasectomy or something like that, that I could understand. But if it's just because for stupid reasons, that doesn't fly by well with me. So, it just goes back down to the boiling point of the fact that he just seems like he's this role model, but backstage just tries to control it. He tries to be that guy who's just saying, oh, well, this guy doesn't deserve it, or this guy doesn't deserve it. Oh, no, no. Just seems like, he's two-faced. That's the thing. He's this great guy, seemingly in the ring, and, everything like that. But then, behind the scenes, backstage politics, he thinks that he's untouchable, and he thinks he's, king of the world. It's stupid. It's just really dumb. And I'm hoping that the fans can at least start, getting more into the matches instead of, trying. Okay, here's another one. I think a lot of people have complained a lot about the whole Sasha Banks and Charlotte deal because so many times they've done it where Sasha wins the title on Raw, and then Charlotte wins it at the next pay-per-view. Sasha wins it again on Raw, and then wins it at the next pay-per-view. And then it seems like people are saying, oh, it's going to happen again and again and again. And this is basically going to be like, Randy Orton versus John Cena all over again. Well, here's the thing. There could be a turn in the works here where they could have, Sasha be the heel and Charlotte be the face. And I think right now that they're at the point where I think they need to cool off the whole, Sasha versus Charlotte deal because they really made it seem like, oh, this is going to be the last time they battle against each other. So I would say give them time to just cool this whole thing off. Let Sasha have her reign for quite a while and let Charlotte start working with either other women or there was actually somebody have her go up to Mick Foley and Stephanie and say, hey, I want my rematch. I want my title shot. I want, my title back. And they could say no. And then she, basically goes off to SmackDown. And then they could probably have a great feud with Charlotte and Becky Lynch. And then I would honestly love to see, Charlotte versus Nikki Bella with, the roles reversed. Still be a heel and have Nikki Bella be the face, because last time we saw them do this, it was the other way around. And Nikki Bella has gotten, she is getting a lot better in the ring. I never thought I would say that, but she's getting a lot better in the ring. And it doesn't seem like she's really going through like the whole John Cena system where it's like, just because of the fact that she's John Cena's girlfriend is because she's getting the opportunities. Now I'm really believing that she's getting this opportunity. She deserves it. And honestly, right now, if she were to win the title, say, tonight, I'd be okay with that. Because she's actually earned it. She's actually been doing a pretty good job. At first, I was just like, oh gosh, they're going to put the belt on her, and it's going to be this whole thing all over again. But no, she's doing incredible work with Carmella, and I think that the two of them are actually not getting as much credit as they do. And I think a lot of people were saying that Carmella is definitely not ready to be a heel, and she's not ready for that. She's getting better and better every day. And Carmella is probably going to be a women's champion, I want to say at least within the next year or two. I think that she's definitely got that opportunity. She's really getting better in the ring. I think she just needs to find another feud to help her continue that momentum of being a good heel. So hopefully they do something really good with Carmella, because what they're doing with Alexa Bliss and Becky Lynch is awesome. I think that right now, as far as like when it comes down to it, I think that Becky Lynch is the top face, and the top heel of the women's division is Alexa Bliss. So it's really hard to say that you can't see this matchup being really good at TLC in a tables match, nonetheless. Which I look at and I think, well, this is going to be a lot better matchup than the I think it was Lay Cool versus Beth Phoenix and Natalya. I think it was like, oh geez, I want to say it was probably like maybe 6 years ago or something like that. So this has a redeeming quality right now. I'm looking forward to seeing how this goes. Trying to think of what else could really probably some other things that might be bothering me. I'm trying to think of maybe I should go with the whole Monday Night Raw stupidity that's been going on, and that's they need to stop focusing on the same stars all the time, because it just doesn't work like that way anymore. It's not working out that way. They're going to have it seemed like for a long time they didn't have anybody to face, Kevin Owens for the Universal title. They just had Seth Rollins, and then Seth Rollins, and then Seth Rollins. And now they're finally deciding Roman Reigns. And in all honesty, right now, how it's still been building, Kevin Owens is looking weak as a champion, which is really stupid, because this is the guy who went into Elimination Chamber last year, and he defeated Cena clean in the middle of the ring. It's just like, why aren't they letting him go back to that? Why do they not have any faith in him? Oh, we're just doing like this whole, Jericho angle, and it's just, they're best friends, and they're going to just basically help each other out. Yes, but it comes to a point where it's just like, enough is enough. I mean, I think it was last week. Yeah, it was last week where they had the whole Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins matchup, and it was a great matchup. They were just putting on a showcase, and then Chris Jericho got involved, even though he was banned from ringside, and there was no consequences. And I think that's another thing that needs to be addressed. The whole authority thing, where people are just saying, I'm going to address this. I'm just going to, we're going to talk, and then we're going to, about what you've done. We're going to, discuss your blah, blah, blah. Are you back in the day, if Eric Bischoff saw, something that only gave consequences, he went as far as to fire people. Even Vicky Guerrero was doing something like that. If she didn't, basically, she was hating the fact that Dolph Ziggler was not getting the win. It was all because Edge was around. So what did she do? She fired Edge on the spot and gave the title to Dolph Ziggler. It's like, that was genius. That's how you get. It makes Dolph Ziggler look a little bit weak, but at the same time, it's one of those things where it's like, if you don't like the guy, then just fire him. It's like, are we just not going to have anybody get fired anymore? Or is there like a new policy that says like, oh, we're going to focus less on firings. We'll do like, discussions now. We'll have forums now. We'll do this. It's like, this is not a freaking knowing. It isn't this freaking sewing circle. What the frick is this? Just, if you don't like that guy, then fire him. Build a storyline off of that. I mean, can you name the amount of times that they fired Stone Cold Steve Austin and JR? I mean, granted, it was the same two people, but at the same time, it could still work. I mean, they tried doing something with Big Show. They tried firing him and then created a little bit of a mediocre storyline with him and Randy Orton, but, it's not like it was bad. It just was the wrong person at the wrong time. You could still have something like that go on and create something amazing. It's just really weird how they just decide, oh, well, we're just going to talk about this. It's like, do something else. Maybe have somebody get suspended or somebody gets fined. Something like that. One of the best examples I think that TNA had was that Jeff Jarrett and Kurt Angle, when they were talking and having their feud, Jeff Jarrett released a little bit of unaired footage of Kurt Angle talking about, Vince McMahon in a negative way. And it was one of those things where he promised not to show the world that footage, but then Jim Cornette came in and he says, you obviously disrespected TNA, did this and blah, blah, blah. Then we're going to fine you for that. It's like, great. They're doing something with it. He's doing some freaking, they're doing some consequences. Bring out the consequences. I mean, I kind of say that they did that with Roman Reigns last year by putting him as number 1, but they honestly could have just done that without having the whole Vince McMahon having a hard time opening a ball deal. It just, that was just a painful scene. It was one of those things where I really wanted to just gouge my eyes out and think, is this over? Is this over? Well, now I can't enjoy anything anymore because Vince McMahon has ruined wrestling for me. This is what it all boils down to and what I'm going to close with. Because Triple H and NXT, they are still doing really good. I would say that some of their shows lately have not been as good as what they could be, but they are still creating great stars nonetheless. I mean, the match between Bobby Roode and Ty Dillinger was fantastic. These are two guys that, of course, Canadian bred, and this happened in the right place at the right time, and Ty Dillinger looked like a great competitor. And Bobby Roode is already a natural gifted athlete, so it's kind of one of those things where I think that Ty Dillinger definitely got over without even winning. Because you saw the loved Ty Dillinger. Even at losing, they gave him his respect. I thought that was awesome. But with Vince McMahon, he's still hung up on bringing in part-time people and bringing on the old-timers. It's just like, Vince, you have... Okay, so let me take you guys back to something that actually happened in a Monday Night Wars DVD. And Rey Mysterio was actually discussing this, and I think that he said it best. He was mentioning how WCW had all this talent that they could be using, and he asked, why aren't they using all of them? Why are they using the same people over and over again? It just doesn't make sense. Look at what WWE was doing. They were creating great matches with other superstars, like Edge and Christian, the Dudley Boys, the Hardy Boys. And Rey Mysterio says, we can be stars too if you give us a chance. And that's the thing. They could still have superstars that really do it. And I still think that SmackDown far exceeds the fact that, compensates, I should say, the fact that they have all their superstars in there and they're trying to do something with them. I mean, when it came down to, Kalisto, I'm pretty sure a lot of people were thinking, oh, he's just going to fade off in the distance. Now he's in a feud with Baron Corbin. And I am totally okay with it. There's rightful cause as to why this feud is happening. It's because Baron Corbin's angry with the fact that apparently Kalisto was the reason why he got injured.